Hamilton apparently wasn't the only place with these problems. My Montana journey soon took me to the Canadian border, one of the places where Mr. Spreadberry had been in touch with other civil and political watchdog groups.
We're here to talk about the issues, and we're here to do something about lack of proper law enforcement, about increase in crime, and about all the legal issues surrounding things, trying to secure our county. It's just that simple. To freedom of speech and the freedom of assembly. And we believe that if you don't exercise those rights, you lose them. You know, a lot of people believe right now that there are encroachments happening from the Beltway in Washington District of Criminals. If we base what we do on law and order, on the rule of law rather than the rule of men, and having everybody obey the law, including the cops, what kind of shape is the Republican Party in Uvalde County? And we'd like to secure our county first. That's where we have the most power, and we're going to do that by enforcing on the 4 square feet that we stand on the Constitution for the United States. And we believe that's still the supreme law of this land, regardless of how the courts, quote, interpret, unquote, because that was all done by fraud and deception.
Russian Revolution. You know how many people started it and managed it and brought it to its conclusion? Greatest revolution of all time. 13.
The posse came out of the Posse Comitatus of common law. And that was strictly for law enforcement in case of a problem. But there's also a provision in there that if you have a sheriff that won't act in the interest of justice, then the people have the right to appoint their own sheriff.
There's a late May moon kissing the treetops. Late May moon lights the top of the barn. Late May moon drowning the planets, shining the whole night through. Shining the whole night through. Shining the whole night through. Shining the whole night through.
The 16th Amendment to the Constitution for the United States has never been properly ratified.
There's a whispering aspen outside of our bedroom. A whispering aspen out in shelters out in dreams. Whispering aspen out in grows every summer, letting whisper the whole night through. Whisper the whole night through. Whisper the whole night through. Whisper the whole night through.
I was not aware, frankly, of the rapes.
We trust a lot of word of mouth. The paper's lying about it, the commissioner's lying about it, and nobody will prosecute the ones that they have. You know, that the women are stopping needing to come forward.
6 of them reported to his office, and not one of them prosecuted?
We're getting all of the incidents that are coming in, and to some degree the follow-up on that in a much better format for us to really sit down and look at the crime stats of Lincoln County versus other counties. And that's the whole purpose of this.
We should have accessibility to our sheriff. He shouldn't be running and hiding.
They've upped the staff at Libby at the hospital to deal with rape kids.
He should be telling us what happened, why or why not there wasn't one prosecution.
You know, it's obviously going on, but they're still letting it.
Something is wrong.
Late May moon. Late May moon. Late May moon.
That there is no law in the U.S. Code that says you have to file at 1040.
The key to winning a battle is not having your opponent know what you're going to be doing. And so you have to do things a little bit undercover. The founders met in secret when they were drafting the Constitution. A lot of the business they did they had to do in secret because the king had his men out there and their lives were at risk 100% of the time.
Our budget in Lincoln County is up 19%. Do you think I can get one newspaper to report that?
Right.
Not going to happen.
Ron Paul started the ball rolling with the exposure of the Federal Reserve. Everybody picked up on it during the campaign. Now it's become a major issue on YouTube, on Google Video, and it's being talked about in blogs nationwide and worldwide. And the jig is up. The Federal Reserve is dying. It's on its way out. It's just a matter of exposure. Enough people get on board. That's what the Tea Parties are all about. I've got to say, I'll bet there's a lot of four-letter words going on in backroom Democrat circles about the internet and how this information is getting out.
Nothing scares the people you're dealing with down there or up here. Nothing scares them more than possibly being thrown out of office. That's the most frightening thing to a lousy politician that there is.
You have to have all of your ducks in a row and all the evidence nailed down to go all the way with it and win in court before you ever file that affidavit and that petition. Push the hot buttons on any of these issues by simply having your speaker, Sheriff Richard Mack, is the guy that beat the Brady bill, for crying out loud. He's got a reputation of pro-American, pro-Constitution, pro-freedom, pro-liberty. What about when he gets up and the subject of his talk is the county sheriff, America's last line of defense, or the constitutional duties of a sheriff? Just saturate this area with the right kind of thoughts.
People have a lot of animosity towards each other, but I don't think it's supposed to be towards each other. You know, I think it just ended up that way because of some kind of scary oppression.
And I think it's all about money. It's all about getting rich really quick and being in power.
Being an American, you know, and traveling all over the world, doing a lot of things, there were some things that I took for granted that I don't have here.
The rule of law rather than the rule of men.